Podcast turns 3 today, guys. I designed a little something, because birds of a feather flock together, right? Limited edition. I figured I'd drop something special for the podcast for us all to celebrate in one way or another. So these won't be around for too long. 3 is a magical number for me, and this year has been full of them. So it's a beautiful thing to have this podcast be 3 years old and still going strong. First off, shout out to all the listeners, who've been tuning in since day one or who have recently come aboard, but you guys have made a home in this podcast and you've allowed me and my podcast to make a home in your life. It means the world to me and I'm so glad. There's this quote that says, "Less planting your own seeds in the minds of others, knowing that they won't water them. More watering your own seeds, allowing your mind's garden to inspire others to grow their own." Shout out to my boy Mark. You give credit where credit's due. He's one of the people that initially told me to create a podcast. And I was like, no, what would I be doing on a podcast? What would I do with that? Since then, I've just continued to be me and talk about my experiences and my life experiences. And, who you are isn't what you do. My initials, Isaiah Frizzell. I'm led by intuition and faith. A couple of years ago, I asked my mom, I was like, what's my blood type? And she was like, it's B positive. Come on now. If your growth and your shine makes people uncomfortable, it is not your job to dim your light to make them comfortable. Keep showing up for yourself because you owe it to yourself. Every time you show up in spite of doubt, in spite of, silence, you are reminding yourself that you are worth everything that's coming to you. You remind yourself that you trust in yourself. You remind yourself that you are worth the work. Your intentions speak to your character, and your character says a lot about who you are. And I always say my character doesn't change, but the characters in my story might. If this podcast has taught me anything in these last 3 years, is either lean in or let go. And then just show love along the way. Either way. There are some people that are in my story continuously. The same characters keep showing up on every page and in every chapter. And some don't. And that's okay, because I'm consistent. Consistency is currency. While it's quality over quantity, sometimes it is a numbers game. And what I mean by that is, how many times do you show up? How many times do you show up for yourself despite the doubt? How many times do you show up for yourself even if you're the only one that's showing up? How many times do you keep showing up? And that in itself creates the environment that you need to just thrive, flourish. And that's what I've learned on this journey so far. I will always say authenticity does not expire. So lean into your purpose. Everything else is just fluid. The journey may not be easy, but you should enjoy it along the way, because there's so much to learn, there's so much to value, there's so much to appreciate. But like I said, I'm so grateful more than anything that this podcast has been something for people to turn to in terms of just looking to feel good or take care of themselves in a better way, or just understand themselves a little bit more, so they can level up. You have to keep going. I think I know that's the biggest thing. I'm a feeler. I feel things out, and I feel my way through life, and I've yet to be wrong. So when something is important to me, or something feels necessary, I lean into that. Guys, have an amazing week, and I hope you guys celebrate with me. Link is in the bio, and just continue to take care of yourselves and continue to show up, because time flies, and when you look back at the work that you've done to be the person that you are, I hope you're proud. I hope you are truly proud of yourself. All right? Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Take flight.